You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, and you on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Conway, Samuel's Path. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm Shandy, we're up and let's go. Quite a huge reveal in that last part. You chuckle and set down the box next to the door. You go for the next box and open it, prying out the piece of paper once again to check for the recipient. And once again, you find Rajeeyah's. You're not from here, are you? Well, Rajeeyah doesn't exactly sound like a local name, now does it? Busy lifting the last box off the shelf, she didn't even turn around to answer. From here? The open North Atlantic Ocean? No, indeed, I am not. How did you find out? Was it the missing fens? You know what I mean. She must have been struggling to keep it together with only the fact that she is facing away saving her from you picking up on it, as she immediately burst into a laugh. I was born in Morocco. Morocco? Isn't Morocco our next harbor? It is. Sounds like we're going to be visiting your homeland, then. Indeed we will. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it for myself in that case. You won't quite get to see the town I called my home. I was born in Safi, not Mogador, a town up north from where we will be anchoring. Too far away to reach during our stay in the harbor, though. It has been a while since I've last seen it for myself. How long? I never really made it far from the place I was raised. Well, until now. So I can only imagine how nice it must be to return after such a long time. You close one of the boxes after finding out this one isn't addressed to her. The latch falling back into place with a wooden click. 2 years. We don't land there often, though this time we have a lucrative freight contract with for a load of grain, so I am lucky to spend a few days in my homeland again. Though originally I left even before that. 2 years is how long it's been since I last set foot on Moroccan soil. I left of my own accord back then, but I'd be lying if I said that I am not missing it. Smell the familiar smells, see the familiar colors of the towns, finally sit down for a good tea again. You notice her lips bend into a subtle smile. It'll be nice. Someone rather enjoys their tea? Find me a Moroccan who doesn't. It's an event for us. You sit down, take your time to get lost in the moment with family, friends, some person walking down the street, whoever it may be. I've been missing it. Not many of the men here are drawn in by that prospect, nor do they usually have the time. Where's the gambling? Where's the drunken pleasure? Only exception is when we're crossing into colder regions. Now when they have to reef the sails in a sleet storm, let me tell you then a cup of tea gets treated like a bar of pure gold. I can believe it. Do you have anything planned coming back after all this time? For most of us, it's probably just going to be more work. Or whatever it is you do as a sailor during the stay in the harbor. Running. Her answer takes you aback, and you stare at her with wide-open eyes. Running? Deserting from the ship? Now it was her turn to stare back in disbelief, teeth peeking past her ajar lips. Huh? Wait, now. She catches herself with a quick shake of her head. What? No! Running! To nowhere! Just for the sake of it. Oh. You really are a cheetah, aren't you? She laughs. Not just any cheetah. A king cheetah. If not me, then who else to keep the nature of our species alive? Though perhaps queen cheetah would be a more fitting title, don't you think? A worthy one. You play along, imitating the tone of a servant. But no, I just like it, and unfortunately this ship is not convenient for a run. Fighting against the waves, fighting against the slippery wet planks, the wind, having to weave through you lot and avoid the tar dripping from above. It's not the same, and whenever I'm out here, I just crave the euphoric feeling I get from it. At least I won't have any trouble spotting you among the crowd. 2 years, huh? That's a rather long time. It is. There are a lot of close people that I haven't seen in years. Parents, friends, my partner, lover. Hold on, you have a partner? One that you haven't seen in 2 years? You just up and left for several years? Aren't you concerned about the relationship? She carefully puts the box you just sealed back on the shelf, where a wooden lip of it makes sure it stays in place even during rough seas. Your eyes never lose their focus on her. Concern is not the right word. Not quite. To tell you the truth, he was one of the reasons I felt I needed to leave. The one I needed this distance from. I don't know. Whether it still is a relationship or if it ever truly was, I don't know. It's alright if you prefer not to talk about it. I'm sorry. I guess it's just making me nervous being this close to being back home in Morocco, and I'm feeling the need to get it off my chest. And with everyone, don't apologize. If talking about it helps, then I can take over the role of the ship's doctor for a moment. Though I don't have it in my power to hand you some rum. You try to bring some levity into it, without much of a reaction. You know, usually it was him who left. Days, weeks, a month or two. I told him that I had a brighter future, that we would never speak again. She shakes her head. I suppose I meant all of it at the time. I probably feel the same if my partner kept on disappearing again and again. He never told you why? Not for any one disappearance as he left, but I knew. He never made it too much of a secret to me that when his family comes calling, he comes to help. If we needed money, he went and got it. She shrugs and checks one of the boxes herself to speed up the process, setting it back into the shelf as one that must not have been seen for her. I appreciate you having an open ear for me, but I'm just keeping you from your rest longer than necessary. Especially on a dog watch, I don't want to steal too much of what little there is. I'm sure it's just the excitement of being this close to home again and not knowing how everything has changed over that time. Let's get this done so you can get your rest. Yeah, coffee time. She briefly adjusts the cuff of her sleeve and checks another box. Been quite a while you've been on the ship, then. It has. Truth be told, I never felt much of an urge to go out to sea. Who wants to operate on someone with the added difficulty of waves, mice, and the loving odor of bilge water spilling into the upper decks? No. I was a new surgeon. It was difficult enough to stay on steady ground. It was a bit of a shock when I came on board. Don't have to tell me. I want to be here, and it still is a struggle to get used to it. So yes, it has been longer than I assumed it would become, but I suppose life just has a habit of taking you in directions you don't expect. The cheetah shakes her head and takes one of the boxes you checked already to store it again. Did you check this one? You nod. What this ship does provide, though, is a bit of a calmer place to work. Very un-cheetah-like. She playfully chides you to stop it. Most days at least. Much different to what I would be dealing with in a hospital. And I guess a testament to the draw Arthur had on me. He can be rather convincing. A side of him I've yet to see. When would I ever be allowed to hold the status of the head doctor in any hospital? No matter how many years I've worked my tail off, in the end I'd always be a supporting actor to my male colleagues. In came Arthur with the promise of my own little hospital. He knew I needed the change. The ship promised exactly what I wanted at the time. My hospital. One without as much death around. And colleagues, friends who appreciate the care that I can provide them with. Though, what death there is weighs heavier on the heart. I've yet to decide if making friends of the people you know might very well be your future patients is a good thing or not. Perhaps I'll grow wise enough to make a decision in the future. I can only imagine. I suppose it might be. She stops again, a pregnant silence laying heavily between her words. Up until the point where you can't do anything for them, where they simply get swept out to sea and you aren't ever even given the courtesy of trying. When all that is left is a solemn silence. And an empty hammock. She looks over at the doorway with pensiveness clouding her eyes. I'm sorry, you add, not even wanting to imagine it happening on your stay on the ship. She swallows. Sorry, I don't know why I brought it up. I shouldn't even mention the possibility, or what good has it ever done to summon bad luck by calling to it? Probably nothing. You must know our first mate pretty well if you two worked together on the ship for so long. Arthur, I mean. Her ears perk up as you help her veer the conversation away from the previous topic. I do. He's the one who offered to bring me onto this ship in the first place. A fantastic first mate. About the best any vessel could hope for. Why? I don't know if it quite feels like that to me. I'm sure you must be telling the truth, but I feel like he's been treating me unfairly since I joined. Hounding me for every mistake and seeing my fault in everything that's happening. Surely it can't be that he's like this to everyone. No, I know that he isn't. That isn't how he treats everyone. You worked on this ship for a long time. You know him well and probably know what draws his ire. Sure, but only if you check the box you've been holding on for all of eternity so we can be done here. Suddenly, the sensation of the wood against the pads of your fingers returns to your attention, and you snap into action to open it up. He's been a real piece of work. Well, maybe I am? You unfold the manifest while you talk and check for the name. Rajeeyah al-Maghribi. Another one for her. He can be harsh, though usually he does make an effort to be lenient with entirely new landsmen and ease you lot into things. Mind you, only for a few days before you better start carrying your weight, but he does know that it can be a lot to get to know the ropes. But in the end, all he cares about is sailing the ship, and the sailors that keep this little wooden world afloat. Do that well, and he will be satisfied. You put the box with the others. Those are all for you. Perfect, thank you, James. Would you be so kind and carry those two? I can do that. Where to? Whatever table is still open next to the caboose. That is, if you still would like to sit down together for dinner. Your ears perk up at the suggestion of some new energy floods through you. Of course, I'd like that. I'll take the other, and we have to bring them down to surgery. You bend down to pick up the boxes before leaving through the open door to lead Rajeeyah on the way back to the cabin. The chatter of the crew grows louder as soon as you exit the compartment and make your way to the stairs. You glance over your shoulder whenever you talk to her. That's what everyone's been telling me. Learn fast this, be a good sailor that. Hasn't helped. Which is what I mean when I say it feels like he has it out for me. Did I make some mistakes? Sure. But it's hardly reason enough to be all over my tail like that. Rajeeyah stops before you go down the stairs and proposes that you go first so that she can pass you the boxes one by one, instead of risking them falling while going down. You agree, descend to the next deck, and wait for her to give you the first box. It is unusual, I admit. Would you like me to ask him about it? Oh God, please don't! Every time he speaks to me or my name comes up, it only seems to get worse. I don't think it would do me any favors if you just went up and asked about me. I understand. I will keep my ears open when I'm with him and the other gentlemen, though. Perhaps I can glean something when I'm sitting with them. That'd be appreciated, Doctor. The last box makes it to you in just another minute before you drop them off in Samuel's current cabin and head back to your precious break time. Rajeeyah thanks you for your help before she excuses herself to make her dinner with the other officers and the captain. Day 12. Well, that's pretty. Cold water comes crashing over you in an instant. The force of it pulls you down. Deeper. Deeper. The surface of the sea disappears, leaving but a pitch-black, oppressive oblivion. The water forces you to gasp, shocked, the world returning in a flash as you force your eyes open. You scramble. Your back bumps into something, drenched and beginning to shiver as the wind chills your body. The salt water stings your eyes, nose, and even your sensitive ears are not spared the irritation. The sun hasn't even made it above the horizon yet, leaving the person in front of you as nothing but a silhouette. Fuck! You can fuck later, man. Get your ass up! You don't think, you act on instinct, rising from the sodden ground as fast as your sleep-ridden body allows, simply following the orders barked at you. Samuel does not waste a moment and leaves you behind, with the bright ring of the bell filling the air only moments later. All hands on deck! Samuel's voice rivals even the volume of the bell itself, and in the span of a finger snap, the vessel transforms into a hive of activity. There's not a moment's hesitation when the call comes, and one by one the crewmen make their way from the deck below into the open. Once your wits return to you, you make your way over to Samuel. What's going on? He returns a glare at you. You fucking tell me, this is your watch! I fell asleep. Barely managed to get any sleep for the last few days. I noticed that much, and now we're only a few miles out from them. A few miles out? Sir. Samuel's focus shifts beyond you, and Arthur steps past you from behind. Thunderhead clouds at 2 bells off the starboard bow. The clouds. They put you on weather watch during the night. Shit. Arthur nods calmly, raising his voice with his calm confidence. All hands away! Lads, it's time to earn your pay. Get your hands on the braces, ease the sheets, and close reef the sails. Topmen to the main topgallants, rest of you to the main upper topsail. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout-out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all if I do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silverman. Thank you going above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks to our 2 gold tier patrons, Zeke and Toby. Y'all are awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to Ultimate Tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names and credits, get access to all of our Not Safe for Work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!